Time flies, we say, because we don't really understand what time is. Days go by, seasons, years, centuries. We're young, we get old, we die. We're all subject to time, but we have no control over it. We're less in control than we'd like to think anyway. Earthquakes, floods, hurricanes wash over us. But even worse than those natural disasters are our self-made ones. Wars, famines, violence, terrorism, nuclear catastrophes. 150 species die out every single day as a consequence of our actions. In another couple of generations, all sorts of plants, birds, fish and insects will be extinct forever. Soon we'll number 8 billion people on our planet, more than 1 billion of them hungry. There are ways to lift them out of poverty, only this is not happening. So, what can we do? How should we live today? How can we live in peace with each other, with our planet? One man had radical answers to all these questions. He lived here, in this small town in the Umbrian mountains of central Italy, 800 years ago. Saint Francis of Assisi. He was a revolutionary, not only of Christianity, but of humankind at large. In this basilica, erected in his honor shortly after he died, we find a series of colorful frescoes painted by the great master Giotto, which tell the life of the saint, like in a huge sacred comic strip. In this image, we see a decisive moment. Francis is praying in an abandoned chapel, urgently searching for a better purpose in his life. The prospect of just inheriting the business of his father, a rich merchant in Assisi, frightens him. Suddenly, he hears a voice speak to him from the cross. Francis, go and restore my house. It is falling into ruins. Restore my house. What could that mean? Was he asked to restore the church itself? It dawns on Francis that a fundamental change can only be brought about by taking the gospel seriously. He decides to live his life in total poverty, without any possessions, in solidarity with the poor, the sick and the outcast, like Jesus. As a sign that a complete transformation of attitudes is needed. He and his order will give an example for a new brotherhood of men dedicated to the common good. And isn't that exactly what is needed today?
Buenas tardes a todos. Ustedes vienen caminando, recorriendo la ciudad, atravesándola. Y la gente que los mira pregunta, ¿qué están haciendo? Caminemos con Cristo para ir a la fiesta del Padre. Acá en nuestra ciudad hay gente, familias que están desunidas, corazones que están peleados, distanciados. Nosotros somos hermanos y les quiero pedir otro gesto. Un gesto que nos haga sentir hermanos, pero que a la vez sea un gesto de levadura, de fermento, de fraternidad, de hermandad en nuestra ciudad. Que ahora, cuando nos demos un abrazo de hermanos, dándonos la paz fraternal, demos un signo a esta ciudad de Buenos Aires de que mejor estar unidos como hermanos que estar distanciados, peleados, enojados. Ahora nos damos un abrazo de hermanos.
Buonasera. Voi sapete, il dovere del conclave era di dare un vescovo a Roma. Sembra che i miei fratelli cardinali sono andati a prenderlo quasi alla fine del mondo, ma siamo qui.
Yes, here we are, all of us, with great expectations of the first Pope from the Americas, the first from the Southern Hemisphere, the first Jesuit, but most of all, the first Pope ever to choose the name of Francis. What is it going to take to blow a Franciscan breeze into the world again, other than courage and humility?
El mundo de hoy en su mayoría es un mundo sordo. Y creo que entre nosotros, los sacerdotes, hay muchos sordos. Entonces, cuando yo les digo que se involucren en la vida de la gente, les estoy hablando de cercanía. Que hablen poco, que escuchen mucho, digan lo justo y miren siempre a los ojos. Esa cercanía en el sacerdote provoca una actitud de ternura espiritual, que es la que tiene Dios con nosotros.
Ma volevi fare il Papa?
Ma tu sai cosa significa che una persona non si voglia tanto bene a se stessa? Una persona che ha voglia di fare il Papa, non si voglia a se stesso, E Dio non lo benedice, No, io non ho voluto fare il Papa. Va bene?
Perché lei, cioè tu, hai rinunciato a tutte le ricchezze di un Papa, come un appartamento lussuoso, oppure una macchina enorme. Invece è andato in un piccolo appartamento nelle vicinanze, oppure hai preso l'autobus dei vescovi. Come mai hai rinunciato alla ricchezza?
Ma credo che i tempi ci parlano di tanta povertà nel mondo. Questo è uno scandalo.